Aha, howdy, welcome back to an episode of I'm So Beastly Trivia, Wednesday night trivia, and it is a fabulous time to be testing our knowledge. If you played with us last week, then you would know that I changed my setup to instead of spinning a wheel for questions, it is always going to be 21 from now on. And instead of spinning a wheel for points every single question, to make it more efficient, we're doing none of that. And it is just right and wrong, 21 questions, 21 answers, question, answer, question, answer, question, answer, boom, boom, boom. And that's how we're going to do it, right? We are live on TikTok, live on YouTube. So if you are listening after the fact and you hear me interacting with the crowd, it is to one of those chats. So if you would like to be more present, feel free to join us next week, Wednesday night, 8/7 Central. So without further ado, this epic 23rd episode of I'm So Beastly Trivia is sports trivia. Now, I always fail to say this, but it is internet trivia, so, please use the honor system. If you don't know an answer, it is okay. Getting it wrong is not the point. The point is testing your knowledge. This is trivial information, folks. It's not necessarily common knowledge. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. But it's not about whether you get it right or wrong. It's just about playing the game. So, here we go. Let's get on. Question 1. What country has played in every FIFA World Cup? All right, what country has played in every FIFA World Cup? This is obviously a fabulous question since the World Cup just concluded. And yeah, it's been a big part of the world. It's been pretty dope, TBH. Watched almost every game of it. Actually got me into soccer, which, funnily enough, is not an American word. It is an English word from England. So, the more you know. All right. But I don't believe I have it on here. No, I don't. So, in case you didn't know, the first World Cup was, I believe, hosted by Uruguay. But the country who's played in every World Cup would be Brazil. So the answer to question 1 is Brazil. They have played in every single World Cup, which is quite a feat on its own because number 12 in the world, Italy, did not qualify this year. So just because you're good doesn't mean you're going to make it to the show. All right? So kudos to you. This next one is, we'll just get to it. Question 2. Who is known as the Great One in hockey? Right? Who is known as the Great One in hockey? I mean, interestingly enough, this guy held records for the longest time, and just recently did one of his records get broken by, I suppose, a guy who you could say is even the greater one. But maybe that will be a question if I didn't already add it. I mean, I made this list a few weeks ago and finally am able to use it. Oh, I love using lists. I love making lists. All right, lists are sweet. Not like to-do lists because I don't like telling myself what to do, but like lists of organization, outlines, all those things, so sweet. Not necessarily planning, but like planning. You know what I mean? Yeah. All right, anyway. Back to the question 2, hockey. Who is known as the Great One? That would be Wayne Gretzky. Right? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Wayne Gretzky. Michael Scott. Excellent reference. Excellent show The Office was. Question 3. What team did Michael Jordan win 6 NBA championships with? Which team did Michael Jordan win 6 NBA championships with? This should be a home run, if you will. Took a break to play baseball, but also for other reasons. Yes, it seems we have one very active person. Seems to be answering all the questions well so far, so good. But this is pretty much a slam dunk, if you will. Oh yes, slam. I love puns. I love a good pun. So question 3: what team did Michael Jordan win 6 NBA championships with? That would be the Chicago Bulls in 2 different times of 3 apiece. 2 different three-peats. He took a break to play baseball in the middle, also because of alleged gambling issues, but that's neither here nor there. I cannot verify that. However, it is what it is, Question 4: what tennis player has the nickname the King of Clay? What tennis player? Well, in fact, D1, UNC, but whatever. Anyway, question 4: what tennis player has the nickname the King of Clay? All right, you will also get this. You also get extra points for whatever reason, since we're not counting points. Maybe we do, maybe we don't. Whoever cares. I sure don't. If you can tell me not just his name, but why he is called the King of Clay. And this guy, he's older but recent at the same time. Kind of looked like a fiddler crab. I'll give you this, he was a lefty. His left arm was way bigger than his right arm because of all the forehands, all the backhands, all the tennis pump, the blood pumping into his arm. Like he was a beast. All right, he was a beast. He was the King of Clay, and that would be none other than Rafael Nadal. Rafael Nadal. He's called the King of Clay because he won an insane amount of French Opens in a row, which is played on clay, and also one of the reasons why it was almost impossible to win the Channel Slam, I think it's called, where you win the British Open or something like that. The Wimbledon, not the British Open, that's golf. When you were in Wimbledon and the French Open in the same year, back to back. So that was very difficult to do when Rafael Nadal was beast moding out everywhere. So that was question 5. Question 6: which city hosted the 1996 Summer Olympics? All right, which city hosted the 1996 Summer Olympics? All right, if you don't know, there were tons of bomb threats. There was a whole ordeal at this Olympics. It was an absolute ordeal at this Summer Olympics. Should I give a hint? I will not. I will not give a hint. How about that? We will keep it a hintless episode beyond what has already been hinted at. But this Summer Olympics was not. It was not kosher. All right, so question 6: which city hosted the 1996 Summer Olympics? That'd be Atlanta, Georgia, in the Big Boom, USA. Yeah, there were some bomb threats. There was there was a terrorist attack. There was like actual bombs that exploded. It was a whole thing. It was an actual whole thing. It was a big time deal. All right, question 7. Who was the first woman to score in a FIFA Women's World Cup final? The World Cup final. This is a very niche question. I've never heard of this woman. When I got my questions, happy birthday. Shout out to old winky face emoji icon. All right. But yes, I did not know who this lady was. I don't even know what country she's from, but it would make sense, I think, for her to be from a certain nation, given the history of the Women's World Cup? A lot of famous female athletes with this as a first name. Right? But the first woman to score in a FIFA World Cup, FIFA Women's World Cup, would be Michelle Akers. All right, Michelle Akers. Whoa. All right. Question 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Question 8. Which country is famous for the All Blacks rugby team? All right, this historically amazing. They do the haka, real awesome, looks great. Right? Which country is known for their All Blacks rugby team? It's really cool. They do wear all black. They're once regarded as the best team in the world. I mean, rugby's a dope sport. If you get a chance to watch some all black highlights. They're something else from pregame to postgame. It's a sight to see. It's a sight to see. All right, oh gosh, I keep wanting to say hints because it's like, ooh. So we're just gonna get to it. I feel like that's plenty enough time. Close, but just across the way. All right. So, which country is famous for the All Blacks rugby team? Question 8. The answer is New Zealand, also known as Kiwis. All right, New Zealand or Kiwis, either one. Accept it. I'll take it. Why not? All right. This should be a slam dunk as well. This should absolutely be a slam dunk. Number 9, what basketball player was nicknamed the Black Mamba? Welcome if you're just joining. Thank you to the Beastly Brigade for playing along. All right, which basketball player was nicknamed the Black Mamba? I mean, also, super dope name. Oh, what's up, Cuzzo? Yes, I guess I'll give a hint here. Rest in peace. Helicopters are not our friends. Oh, now that's a blast from the past, Filthy Bruce. Oh, golly gee, yes. So what basketball player was nicknamed the Black Mamba? It's because he was slithering through defenses like a snake, like a mamba. All right, that would be Kobe Bryant, the best basketball player in the history of the game. Kobe Bryant. Don't at me, but do at me as well. Also, just yeah, Kobe Bryant, best basketball player to ever do it at his general position, ball handler, scorer, Black Mamba and stuff, doing all his thing. LeBron is in fact not the GOAT, but hey, whatever. Maybe he is. I don't know. He just he's not Kobe. Kobe's better forever. I mean, look at his shoe game was way doper than LeBron's. Anyway, question 10. I'm gonna have to switch this question because I gave it away earlier. So originally the question was going to be, and I forgot that I had this question, what country won the first ever FIFA World Cup in 1930? And the answer would be Uruguay. I already gave that up. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I just said they hosted it. All right. Either way, I'm not using that question clearly. So I will use this question. Who coached the 1985 Bears to a Super Bowl championship? All right. If you can give me that answer, that's a point. If you can give me the reference to the movie as well, that's another point. And I'll say it again. Who is the coach of the 1985 Chicago Bears? It's the Super Bowl champions? I mean, I'll take the name of the coach, Name of the movie that I'm referencing. Also, top tier film. Also, another point if you can tell me who the main character of that movie is. Also, another point if you can tell me whose ball they were playing for. And if you've seen the movie, you would definitely know what that means. All right? So basically, you just have to know who won the Super Bowl in 1985, right? Then you have to know what movie he was in. He played himself, okay? That's a hint. Then you have to know who the lead character, the main character was in that, the main actor. And then you also have to know what the plot device, the ball they were playing for was, right? And you either know it or you don't, so we're just going to get right into the answer. The coach of the 1985. He's Juicebox. He's Juicebox boy. All right, so the coach of the 1985 Bears Super Bowl championship team, Mike Ditka. The movie I'm referencing, Kicking and Screaming. All right, the main character, the main actor in the movie Kicking and Screaming, Will Ferrell. All right, and the ball they're playing for, father and son are competing for, is the Pele ball. The Pele ball. The son caught it, then the dad took it. All right, and this is one of the most epic first lines of any movie ever. All right, also another question for that. If you can tell me the first line of that movie, give yourself another point. Because it's the most factual yet understated thing ever. This is actually the longest question I've ever asked in the history of I'm So Beastly Trivia. But the first line of the movie is, I was born a baby. Epic. I quote it all the time. It's one of my favorite lines of any movie ever. Yeah. So there's that. Question 11. I want to say 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Question 10. Oh, hey, baby.
I was seeing if Casey is in
Hey, baby. Yeah, he's just boot scooting around. If you can see here pop in, my baby, my fiance just popped in. Ooh. I think this is question 10. Let's see. Yeah, we're going to say 10. All right, question 10. What team did Babe Ruth play for before joining the New York Yankees? Bagel is in our room, but I think perhaps we should have him. Baby?
Yeah?
Would you mind bringing me Bagel for the viewing public? Would you bring me my king? Oh, it's okay then. Never mind. Sorry. Bagel's asleep. My king is in his slumber. Oh, he's glorious. But yes, anyway, question 10. What team did Babe Ruth play for before joining the New York Yankees? Oh, my king has arrived. Oh, he's precious.
Oh my gosh, he's stuck on me.
My fiance and my king.
I'm stepping over here.
Bagel. My man, Bagel.
Just woke up.
Oh, he's so precious. Thank you, my queen, for bringing me my king.
Whenever you come out, I'm letting him roam now.
Yeah, sure. All right. Bagel is Pensacola Jesus and his cat, his king. Oh, my glorious king. All right, anyway, Babe Ruth, before the New York Yankees, this is the curse of the Babe. This is how the whole curse started. So if you know anything about baseball, right, you would know that before the New York Yankees, Babe Ruth played for the Boston Red Sox, right? The Boston Red Sox. This is the curse of the Babe, the curse of the Bambino. This is where it all started. They traded him for like sodas and a couple baseball bats or something ridiculous like that. Candy machine. I don't know. It was like the 1930s. Something baseball lore and whatnot, right? But the Boston Red Sox, that's blasphemy, of course. Right now, question 11. What NHL team has won the most Stanley Cups? Right? Which NHL team has won the most Stanley Cups? All right. We are actually close. It is, I believe, one of the originals. It's a curious team in recent history. And someone just asked me if there's a cash prize for this. No, you're just winning aura. So, I mean, but isn't that more important than cash? Right? So, this team is, I want to say, one of the originals. Also, the originals, a great show, spinoff of Vampire Diaries. Klaus is the man, took over, basically started New Orleans. If you follow the lore of Vampire Diaries and the originals, epic, by the way, epic. Anyway, one of the originals, the team with the most Stanley Cups. And yes, we're going rapid fire because why the heck not? Maybe it's fast, maybe it's slow. Honestly, I don't know. My head's just all over the place having a good time. But the team with the most Stanley Cups is the Montreal Canadiens. The Montreal Canadiens. Oh, oui, oui. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Something French. I don't speak French, but it's the Montreal Canadiens. They speak French. All right, I want to say it's question 13. I don't know my numbers. We're just going to say next question, and then we're going to get to the end. And that's just going to be that. All right. So, next question. Which English football team is nicknamed the Red Devils? Right? Which English football team, football club is nicknamed the Red Devils? I said I wasn't going to give any hints earlier, but in fact, I was wrong. I'm going to give a hint. David Beckham. Me what? David Beckham played for this team. Super handsome guy. I mean, we're basically twins. He's gorgeous. I'm also a guy with long hair and a beard. But yeah, I can bend it like Beckham. That's a movie from back in the day. Go check it out. It's, I don't recall, but yeah. Anyway, David Beckham played for this team. It was his hometown team, basically his hometown team. They've done a lot of damage. They've done a lot of damage in the Premier League over the years. But the Red Devils, that would be Manchester United or Man U. Either way, we'll take it. All right, next question. I suppose you could take this in multiple ways. Who is the most decorated Olympian of all time? I mean, you could take it as who's the most stylish, the most decorated, who has the best fashion sense, who has the most aura, or perhaps decorated as what it actually means in the sense of having the most medals of all time. So in the sense of this question, we're going to go the medal route, right? We're going to say which Olympian has the most medals of all time. He's pretty dope. He's mentioned in pop culture all over the place. He's dope fresh. I mean, this guy's got mad drip, if you catch my drift. Both terms that kind of hint at your boy. At one point, well, no, not at one point. I mean, forever. He has like all the gold medals. A couple silvers, a couple bronze. Most of all time, though, big homie, USA, swim, jamboree, the most decorated Olympian of all time, Michael Phelps. Right? I don't know if anyone's coming close to him as of late, but Michael Phelps, he's the guy. No, in fact, I did not move. All right, next question. What country is famous for the sport of sumo wrestling? All right, what country is famous for the sport of sumo wrestling? Yeah, sumo wrestling. Also, yeah, that's it. There's nothing more to it. Mm, yeah, there's nothing more to it. All right, what country is known for sumo wrestling? Ah, yes, indeed. Oh, why can I not remember the name of that song? Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. It's a song by the Longest Johns. Golly gee, don't tell me it'll come to me. Son of a biscuit. Oh man, that is so devastating, you know? It's devastating when you know exactly what it is, but you just can't put your finger on the pulse. Well, maybe we'll come to it. If we don't by the end of this stream, then I will ask for the name of it, for the name of the Billy O.T. Oh gosh, don't tell me. Please don't tell me. Please do not put it in the chat. That'd be devastating. Anyway, back to the question at hand. What country is famous for the sport of sumo wrestling? That would be, the Wellerman, he told me. He said it. Golly gee. Anyway, the country famous for sumo wrestling is Japan. All right, Japan. Now, next question. Where are we? Yes, here we are. Next question. What horse won the Triple Crown in 1973? No worries. It happens. We all make dire mistakes, but whatever. Right? What horse won the Triple Crown in 1973? There's a movie about this horse starring Diane Lane. It's about a lady who owns a farm and trains horses, but then her farm's about to be sold because she can't make any money. Then all of a sudden she gets this horse who's just got great speed, and it's just like it's just hoofing down the track, just and it's just beating all these horses, winning by length after length after length, just so many lengths, breaking all these records. It's just cooking. All right, it's just cooking, and it wasn't supposed to be a winner, and it turns out to be like the best horse of all time. So that's also interesting. So yeah, if you know the movie or the name of the horse. But yeah, once they find a great sire, once they find a great mare, I believe, I don't know, whatever male horse is, all of a sudden they're just like, yeah, this horse can produce many winners, and then it'll just sire, and then all of a sudden you got a bunch of sire. They're just horses down the line. The line gets created huge, and so yeah, that's where we are now. But the interesting. So he won because his lungs were big, so his endurance was more, so he could just go faster for longer. That's a pretty dope piece of information. Thank you, good sir. But yes, anyway, the horse that won the Triple Crown in 1973, which was much more difficult than it is today, because the races, we believe, were closer together, but they were also driving the whole distance, so it was more difficult than today, right? The travel aspect. But the horse that won the Triple Crown in 1973 was Secretariat, right? Secretariat. Wonderful horse, fabulous horse, solid movie. Check it out. All right. Next question. All right. What sport is named after a dog? What sport is named after a dog? Yes. It's a fun sport. It's a growing sport. A lot of people play it. But this sport, yes, this sport was named after a dog. And this is probably a sport that you either love or hate, but it's one that you think about a lot or don't think about much at all. And I'll give the biggest hint I can. It is not a, well, it is, never mind, disregard. Yeah, sport named after a dog. The lady who invented the sport was just like, I love my dog. And so I'm going to name it after my dog. And that would be pickleball. Her dog's name was Pickle or Pickles, so she named the sport pickleball after she invented it because she loved her dog so much that she just felt that he should get, or she should get, all the credit and forever be remembered. And that's why her dog is a pivotal question on I'm So Beastly Trivia. Anyway, moving on. All right. Okay, how about this? We're going to skip that question because I don't like the way I worded it. So, next question is, what team won the first 2 Super Bowls? What team won the first 2 Super Bowls? Twas my favorite team for a long time. I like the way they look. The colors are great. Classic, right? Traditional stadium, super epic. Whoa, buddy. Yeah, super epic stadium. Been there, super fun, good time. But yeah, once again, you're probably either going to know it or you don't. So the team that won the first 2 Super Bowls would be the Green Bay Packers. The Big Cheese. The Big Cheese. Next question. What school won the first ever college football game? Also, the only football game that season, making them the first ever collegiate national champion. All right, which school won the first ever college football game? Also, the only game that season, making them the first ever national champion. I've been to this stadium. It's super cool. I was there in January at one time when it was snow. It was filled with snow and went down into the ground. So like you walk up and it goes down. You're in the right vicinity of the country, good sir, but in fact not the proper answer. But we are closing in. It is a similar vibe, but definitely not a school you would ever think of for being good at football. All right, I will give you the colors. They are red and black. And I believe they beat another team from the same state in that game. If I'm not mistaken. But yeah, the school who won the first ever college football game, that would be Rutgers. And they beat Princeton, and I believe the score was 6-4. However, I think score was calculated differently back then. This was, I believe, in the late 1800s or early 1900s, so a long, long time ago. Many things have changed since then. But yes, Rutgers, officially or unofficially, your first ever college football national champion. So, hey, the more you know. That's a great recruiting tool that I would use if I were them. Do they? I don't know. I didn't get recruited by Rutgers. So, shame. But it would have been fun to go there. Anyway, next question. Second to last question. So we have this one and then one more that I'm going to add off the dome because I didn't add 21 questions. I only have 20 on my list. So, yes, there's that. All right. So, question 20. What team did Jim Kelly play for before he played for the Buffalo Bills? right? What team did Jim Kelly play for before he played for the Buffalo Bills? This is actually a really cool question. It's a really cool question. If you know, I don't want to give it away right now. I don't want to if I say this other fun fact about it, then it might give it away. Not necessarily the whole thing, but perhaps part of it. But you know what? I will give the hint. How about this? The team was not in the NFL. However, professional just the same. But yes, alas, potentially somewhat of a trick question, but Jim Kelly played in the USFL before he played in the NFL. And before he played in the NFL for the Buffalo Bills, he played for the Houston Gamblers of the USFL, led the league in passing yards and perhaps touchdowns. I don't remember exactly the full stat line. I think he won MVP. You can definitely check me on that, and please let me know. In fact, I am the GOAT, not LeBron or Kobe. It is, in fact, Mr. Tootin. Yeah, that is that. That's that. I'm for sure the GOAT, no doubt. So much aura up in here. But yeah, so he played for the Houston Gamblers of the USFL before he played for the Buffalo Bills of the NFL. And so it is time. We have come down to the last question. The last question indeed. Tis, what is the last question? Okay. Oh my. Let's see. Let's think. Let us think about this. Let us think about this. Okay, how about this? What league are the Brisbane Lions a part of? Right? What league are the Brisbane Lions a part of? I ask this because I used to live in Brisbane. I loved it there. I was a huge fan of this team, still am. They're my favorite team in this league. It's arguably one of the coolest sports to watch in person for multiple reasons. But that's, of course, a personal opinion. But aren't all opinions personal? I suppose they are. But the Brisbane Lions, well, I'll give you this first. The Brisbane Broncos are part of the NRL, the National Rugby League. And the Brisbane Lions are part of the AFL, the Australian Football League, which, if you don't know what Australian football is, it is basically a sport where you pass an oblong ball, similar to a football, but slightly longer, bigger in a little bit of a way, closer to a rugby ball. But you pass it with your feet and you bump it like a bump serve in volleyball to pass it, and you kick it through these posts, and you can either get 6 points through the middle or 1 point called a behind on either of the sides. And it is on an oval field. And this oval field, there's a minimum size. It's the same field that they play cricket on, but there is no maximum size. So a massive home field advantage if, you just have a field that's absolutely huge. But is a cool sport, super cool sport. Check it out. Go on YouTube, look up Brisbane Lions, watch the sport. Real cool. But yeah, this has been episode 23 of I'm So Beastly Trivia, your sports trivia episode. All right, my name is Chase Tootin, and I am your wonderful host, as always. All right, if you want to play live again, catch us next Wednesday, 8-7 Central on YouTube and on TikTok. And if you're listening after the fact, road tripping, doing your thing, appreciate love you being part of the Beastly Brigade, and we will see you next time. Ta-ta, kittens.